Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Hamza here to show you how to use the WebSocket client plugin. Before we get started, it's important to note that this is a WebSocket client and it does not contain a WebSocket server. So you would need a WebSocket server URL before we get started. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do after you install the plugin is we would go over to the WebSocket client itself and you would enter in the plugin WebSocket URL. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the Socket Bay demo. And if you go over and open up a new tab, we can see the website Socket Bay, and you can grab that URL here. This is just a testing WebSocket server that we can use, but you can use any socket server that you might want to use for your project. So once you have the WebSocket URL, you're going to come over here and you're going to post it into this field. And if you have any kind of authentication needed for this WebSocket server, you can also specify it right here in this field below. Some socket servers will have an API key that'll be a part of the string, and it's fine if you put it here in the URL as well. All right, so now that that's set up, once you have the WebSocket plugin installed, if you look to the left here, you're going to see two new items. You're going to see a WebSocket client and a WebSocket channel. You're only going to need one WebSocket client, so you're just going to want to drag and drop that on to the screen anywhere that you'd like, and there's really no other fields that you need to fill out here. The WebSocket client is going to take that URL string that you had before, and it's going to start the initial connection to that WebSocket server. The next step is you're going to want to drag and drop a WebSocket channel onto the screen. So we can specify a new channel, and in the future we're going to support as many channels as you might need, and you'll be able to define the name of a channel and you would be able to connect to sub-channels. But just for this tutorial and for our beginning launch of this plugin, we're only going to use one channel. All right, now that we have the WebSocket client and the WebSocket channel, I have here a multi-line input that I just put on the screen just for an example, and I have an input field here. So for the multi-line input, we're going to use this as a little chat application, and we're going to get a response back from the WebSocket and populate this multi-line input with that text. So all you're going to do is you're going to click this edit right here, and in this placeholder, we want to just show the data from the WebSocket. So you're going to do insert dynamic data, and then you're going to specify the channel that you put onto the screen, because we want to listen to the response on that channel. And then what we want is we want the received message list. So this is just a list of all of the items, not the last message that was sent over WebSocket. If you just want one message, you can put that here. But in this case, we want to still see all of the messages over the WebSocket. So we're going to put the received message list. All right, so that should be good. And let's go ahead and preview our changes. All right, so we have this little chat application. Let's go over here to this WebSocket and let's type a little test. Let's say hello. So we say hello and hit send. And if we go back to our app, you can see that it was sent over the WebSocket. This is not using a REST API like a lot of bubblers are used to. This is instantaneous data streaming over a WebSocket. So we're getting that hello response. All right, so let's go ahead and close this out. Let's go back to here. So we're receiving messages now. Let's send messages. So if we want to send a message, what we can do is we're going to go over to our workflow here on the left, and we're just going to specify a new event. I've already gone ahead and done that right here. And I just said that input that was on the screen, let's check that its value has changed and that the value is not empty. So if that's the case, we want to specify a new action. And that action is an element action that's defined in the plugin, and we're going to send a message. All right, so what message do we want to send? Let's just send this input's value. So the value that was in that input field. All right, so that should be good too. Let's go ahead and go back and preview our changes. All right, so here we are. We're connected over the WebSocket again. Let's send a message. Testing. We hit send. We are receiving data over WebSocket. Now let's send a message. All right, and I hit enter. And you can see the message over here as well. So the reason that this didn't clear is just because we didn't add that into our Bubble application, and we're not going to dive deep into how to build a chat app in Bubble. The purpose of this tutorial video is just to show how you can use this plugin to build your app and build out WebSockets so that you can handle instantaneous data over any of your Bubble projects. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time on the Bubble forums. And if you experience any bugs or there's new features that you'd like to have added, just let me know, and we'll continue to maintain it and grow this project. Thank you.